Hello, this is Vance, and this is Wednesday, February the 22nd, 2017. These are CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. I didn't do an update yesterday, despite the fact that I traded yesterday. I had to go to the dentist late, and then by the time I got back for the kind of work that they did, my whole face, side of my face was frozen, and it was painful. Well, not painful, but because it was freezing. But after the freezing came out, it's kind of sore. Still kind of sore today, but things are on the mend. So I think that it's better than it was. And so I'm going to see how that turns out. It was just about I don't know, I had some sensitivity to hot and cold, and I guess there was a couple of areas that they had to kind of adjust. And so they just kind of, he stuck in a couple of fillings. I got a filling that popped out like a couple of weeks ago, and they had to put new some type of white filling adhesive in there, and that's what they're doing. So anyways, you have to drill and do all that kind of stuff, and that it's kind of hard on the side of the face. And of course, they stick the freezing in there, so I mean, there's a couple of like incision marks that are like or not incision, but where they had to inject the freezing. Of course, they never show it to you. They always kind of bring it up from the bottom so you don't see it in your eyesight. It's a big needle. So I always get a kick out of that. But I guess some people are a little bit kind of freaky for a lot of people. So anyway, yesterday was an interesting day. It was a holiday on Monday. Market was open yesterday. We had this run up in the overnight, and prices ran up from the overnight roughly about from 53.91, and this is on the March contract. The April contract, and price ran up from 53.90 in the overnight to about 54.86. So I had almost $1, and right from the open, price was trending up. Now this is 9 o'clock right here, or like right in this area, 9 o'clock, nine right here. And so, but before that, price peaks out, pulls down. You think there's going to be another leg. That's what I was assuming. And so anytime I saw that this was support really right across here. See price going first pull back, really pulled. I didn't like this one right here, this first attempt to go up. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. And first of all, it was too early. Well, not really too early, I suppose. But this is just after 7 o'clock. But this bar right here, even though it's a strong bar, there was I will look at a concern like how price is going to get to this double top here. Is going to really retest this high. I wanted to see, this was just too quick, and I don't think this was enough consolidation. But I like this trade a lot better. So price does pull down here and then starts to find support. And so now you've had this, you've had two areas where it's this double bottom here, and when you look to the left side of the chart, and it's a little bit lower down. So if it really gets to this area, if it gets to where it tests, you actually have a little bit of a cushion as far as your stop is concerned. So as a result, I thought this was a better trade to get in. Now let me just kind of show you a couple things here. Let me just put this stop box in here. So let's say the 15 tick stop box, and we're looking at right, 85. So this is it's a pretty big box, right? This is 15 ticks. So my point is that if you get in here, you want to have your 15 ticks before this double top. And so that's why I'm saying that this is really the bar. If you wait till this one right here, you're really kind of outside the bounds of where this double top is here. And you've already had if it turns down the first time, you have to really see strength coming out of here. And that's what I said was, now your stop is still below here, but it doesn't give you a lot of room. You're only looking, so I thought this was a better trade right in here. Just gives you a little bit more of a cushion. It gets it lower down. It's your stop gives you a little bit more cushion of a stop and more room to get to the other side. So now, instead of having to broach this double top to the left, it can get to you get your 15 ticks off a little bit quicker. As a result, even then, you can see that there's kind of like a minor resistance area right here, right across here. And so, in order for prices to get up there and hold, it has to hold this area. And you can see that there was resistance here. So when price pulls back again. This is another opportunity to get in. Now it's below these double tops here, but if you miss this trade and you're watching it, I don't think this is a bad entry as well. It takes a while to work out. Now, if you get the 10 ticks, and this is where it gets to the height, let's say your entry is 54.69, price gets to this high right here, 54.80, that's 11 ticks. If it pulls back down to here, you're break even. Well, your stop should probably be here. You might have a tighter stop, but I would say get it below these areas right here. So at the very least at 58. So if your entry's at 69, your exit is 58. You've got 11 ticks of your stop. At least give prices or give buyers a chance to open up or to extend it, or if it comes back down here, we'll see it be on the selling pressure. You're going to have to assume some risk in trading. And the fact of the matter is that if you close your stop up too quickly, especially if you have some of this overlap, you can't give buyers an opportunity to really take price higher. And in fact, what happened as this looks like really a trap to me. It trapped sellers short. It'd be some sellers look like this is sellers. Some sellers got trapped right here and then turned around and right at the open. And of course, this is right at the open. This is at 9 o'clock is right here. Price really makes a run up here, and this turned out to be a pretty decent trade. Particularly, it extended from let's say 70 or like 69, somewhere in that neighborhood. So in this area, it extended from 70 and it ran up to 02. So it's a 30 ticks. 30 ticks runs up here. It does turn over. We have roughly a 15 tick pullback here. Attempts to go higher again. Now you can see there's a double top right at this point. And so another, I would say short right here is to give you some room. It's not 15 ticks to this bottom right here, but at the very least, it gives you some of this cushion. You can see again, price came back down. Well, not again, but price came down, gave you the 10, gave you a little bit of hesitation here, and then collapsed. And had you stayed with this, not only would you have gotten your first contract and your second contract, but price really ran down in this area as well. Now, here, even though I didn't catch this. I wasn't in this trade. I did take a long here. And the reason I took a long here is that I thought that this was support, from this morning. I think that getting down here, my stop was very close to this area here. But as you can see, it only didn't get very far. Once it got to this hesitation area, instead of continuing to extend and retesting the previous high, price really turned around. And so as a result, I wound up scratching this trade, not because, it didn't give me quite the 10 ticks, but in fact, I didn't scratch it. I just took a few tick loss on this one, but I closed this one out because I certainly didn't like this bar here, and it gave me, I took a bit of a loss on this one. Price didn't reverse it. Price comes down, breaks down in this area. Now, this is one last thing I want to talk about, and of course, this is maybe arguably a trade here, but I want to talk about timing. And in this case, from here, and I've talked about this in the past. Price makes a peak right here. It pulls back down. But let's say that this move to this area right here, this is roughly a 30 tick move, starts right here. And, the prices can't go any higher, but it's not going any lower. From this area down to here, this move takes... this was 40 minutes. So this is really very shortly after the open, 40 minutes to run down to this area. This consolidation area here, and where price is turning over. And, where I took this trade right here and it really scratched it, broke even, or a losing trade, I suppose. This took 43 minutes. Okay, so this is 40 minutes. This is 43 minutes right to here. Now, when price gets this area, so we're in this trade, we're in this area for roughly an hour and a half from here to here. Now, this area, when price finally turns down at this area, from this area down to here, this takes a total of 4 minutes and 57 seconds. So, picture this. You're sitting here, you're watching this, it grinds this area, a total decline. This is an hour and a half, and here from this area it drops in 5 minutes. Now, why am I got this as a buying right here? Well, there's a reason for it. My reasoning is that if price takes it takes buyers or sellers 40 minutes to drag price down to this area to here. And it's not really a great mining. I mean, if you take it from this point, it's even longer. So we're talking from here to here is 50 minutes, 48 minutes from this peak down to this area. And you can see price did move down, pulls back up, moves back down. But this total magnitude of this move here, from this point right to here, we're not talking about a lot of movement or a lot of decline. So let me just kind of put that one in here. So from here to this price right here, that's a 23 ticks, a 23 tick value, 23 cents. And it took an hour and 31 minutes to get to this area. So from here to here, an hour and 31 minutes. Okay. From here down to here, okay, and we're talking this movement is 47 ticks. It takes 4 minutes and 57 seconds. So there's lots of sellers coming in and dumping at this point in time. And remember, these 800 tick bars here, sold contracts. So there's a lot of selling pressure in this area in a very short compressed time frame. When price gets to this level, it turns over. This is 1036. It pulls up once, pulls back down here. So now we've got, I'd say this moves over because this is 10 minutes. And that's why I'm thinking that for a 15 tick stop box and to get 15 ticks my first target off, it doesn't have to pull back that far. In fact, it only has to take back less than half of this move in order to get to my 15 tick stop. So it only has to be, and in some people's jargon, a 50% retracement from this area. But look at this area from here. I'm thinking that unless sellers can stay in this market and keep that selling pressure on, price is not going to go any further. So in other words, sellers are getting weaker when it gets gone, and this is their shot to take prices lower. And when it gets to this area, sellers are now weak because they can't take it any lower. They've run out of gas. They've run out of contracts to sell. Whatever. There's not enough interest. Buyers are interested. They've bought everything that the sellers are selling to this point. Now they look like they may be buying up because if they still think that price is going higher, they're going to step into this market. I'd like to step in early. And so I want to buy this weakness right here. And that's what I did. Bought this weakness. And so that is my reasoning from this trade. Now, does it seem somewhat complicated? Not to me, it isn't. Think about it from the perspective. If you divide trading or you divide movement up into time segments and forget the 30-minute bars or whatever else bars. I mean, this is an 800 tick chart, so it's not showing time. But if you look at the time from down here, the scale, and the time it takes to move a certain direction or area, you have to believe, or my thoughts are that these buyers and their sellers are in balance. They can't take prices one way or the other, especially if it takes them an hour and 30 minutes to move price 23 ticks when, sellers. So buyers and sellers not interested. When we have sellers step in, they just can't take it any further. And so I think this is an opportunity. Now, it's not written in stone, of course, but certainly look at this decline. Looking in hindsight, you see this decline right here, and you see it pull back all the way right to the previous price was. You can't tell me that there's these sellers just gave up their position into this area, and that's the way I look at it. And that's the way I traded it yesterday. When price gets to this area, it does turn. It peaks out. Here's a strong selling bar. If you're in this trade right here, and you miss this thing, if anything, you're probably maybe looking at another extension. This took a little bit longer. This wasn't 5 minutes. This was. Oops. Let me just get that. This is like 30 minutes to grind its way back up here. It wasn't 5 minutes. So as a result, you could say that, but then at this level, at 11:30, I guess, price is turning over. You have these larger bars here. To take a sell at this point in time, well, you really want to see a break of this trend channel and then maybe of this line right here or this move. And so maybe this one is a little bit better. But again, 15 ticks, where do you want to get in with this thing? Could you have taken a long here? This isn't a bad setup. I didn't like this overlap here. I don't like this overlap here. And frankly, after 11:30, I was done. after you get a move like this one, you might as well just sit on the sidelines as far as I'm concerned. I mean, after 11:30, noon, am I looking at taking another trade if I've missed this? I mean, if I miss this trade, yeah, I might be looking at kind of like staying in the market. But after getting a move like this, I think it's enough. I mean, for me. Price does kind of grind its way down to overnight to the afternoon, late afternoon sessions. Sellers had. I mean, we had a couple of strong moves in this area, and yeah, if you're on this right here, if you got on this trade and you kind of hung with it, your stop would have been safe, and you could have run this all the way down. Now this is late. This is at 2:30, but like I said, I wasn't participating in this. But there's nothing wrong with this trade right here. Especially when it stops up in this area. This was a little bit maybe premature, but this one certainly is. Let me put that in red. I think that this is probably the best trade as far as a short is concerned, late afternoon. But I think that was this was the best position as far as taking a trade. Where is that thing? Let me see. Crimson. Where is that thing? Crimson. Oh, there it is. Okay, and so, this is well, if you look at it from first entry, pull back, second entry, short right here on this one. Your stop is above this area. You have to extend below this bottom right here in order for prices, but again, if you hung on to it, it gives you the 10 ticks. If you got your 10 ticks on, especially on this bar, this is the strong bar here. If you move your entry to break even, it was safe, and you would have got your first contract, second contract, and maybe a little bit more out of that. But then you can see these turnaround. And this was yesterday's open. Now let me talk about today. That's it for yesterday. Let's talk about today. So far, this is today. So this is just after 9 o'clock. Pardon me, this is 25 after. And so, if you look at, this is the overnight swing. There is a bit of a hesitation here. You can argue that this is maybe a continuation pattern. And so when price really kind of right through here is support/resistance, and price is moving its way back down here. So if anything, I mean, we've had this significant unwinding of prices from the overnight. Certainly, this is yesterday's low at 53.92. Now we're at 53.48. So the high is 54.60. The low is now 53.48. So we've got a $1.20 is unwound at this point in time. Is price going to go lower, or are we going to find some support and go higher? I mean, those are the choices. So the choices are, and this is it for today. We'll have to see. I mean, I don't know. I haven't taken any trades today yet. So you're looking at either price heading in this direction, finding some support through here, or continuing on with this trend down. Now, what I would say is that this is right at where's 9 o'clock here? This is 9 o'clock right here in this area. And so this is mostly the overnight. You have to look, has there been any real trade here at this point in time? I kind of got a little bit of a late start today, but if you look at it from, and the reason I was doing what I did the update, and that's from yesterday, is because up until 9 o'clock, I had mostly this, So I mean, it's pretty long extension. It has broken this area of consolidation here, and as a result, I'm still considering the context. Is price going to continue to move down, or are we going to have some consolidation here and then have a reversal? Anytime you're looking at reversals, or you're looking at like areas like this where price is going to turn around, I'm always a lot more cautious, because you're really trading. Some people refer to a counter trend where price is going to find a floor, but I like to buy weakness and sell strength. So if I want to buy weakness in price is going to be down down at near the low of the day. So I want to be a buyer down these areas to get the biggest bang, and I want to sell near the high of the day. But the context of the market has to coincide with that type of positioning. So as of right now, I'm trying to keep my options open. So let's get back to the choices again. The choices are very simple. I mean, from this perspective, from this area, we can either look at prices going up higher and continuing and kind of making the move back in this direction, or prices that continue to head downwards. And at this juncture, at this point, right here, you can't really tell at this point. So I want to get the best price, but at the same time, I also want to be aware of where my stops are, like what kind of risk I'm willing to take on this. For instance, this is 15 ticks. I've got enough room to get out before it looks like support here, or a target for my purchase. But I want my stop to be below areas of support. And that's why I'm looking for it. And right now, this is 908 right here. This is 927. So for the last roughly 20 minutes, price is moving in a pretty tight range within 15 ticks. So we see that there's a battle between buyers and sellers. Buyers can't take it higher above that. Otherwise, it had already been gone. Sellers can't take it any lower. My position is to see what's the best option at this point for me if I want to make a profit off of this price movement. Is it going to be a long or is it going to be a short? And it's not clear enough at this point in time to go ahead and do that. So anyway, that's it for the setup. So those are the options. The price is going to go higher, prices are going to go lower, it's going to stay the same. Those are the three options that I have. Well, let you know how it turns out later on. This is Vance. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.